Today I'm going back to basics again with the jelly plate, printing weeds and cardboard boxes and working them out. And one of them is going to be a collage piece. Stay tuned and watch me do that. Hello print fans! Here I am again with a print session of last week when I created these three. Today you'll see me printing three more and working them out with colored pencils, and one of them is going to end up as a collage piece, for which I will also make a few frottage. This first piece is going to be less or more just a nice greeting card or so, but I love how it turned out. I'm using the heart-shaped cardboard box that I've used several times before and spray on Ranger Resist Spray in a greenish color. I already like the first print I've taken here, having added some interest by extending the upper part of the print upwards by printing all of the paint-stained cardboard piece. I'm spraying on some more green paint, but then decide to also use the jeans color that I love. This is another separate print that is not very good, but I'm trying the textured resist medium with it. As the last time, it's interesting, but does not look nice after it has dried. It leaves those strange blobs. Going back to the initial print, I'm adding a direct print from the green and blue stencil on which the rest of the paint still sits. And that is just what I need to be inspired, adding no weeds this time. I'm not doing much with this one, just some shadows with a matching color. I especially like this out-of-line print, which really was a happy accident. I hadn't planned it. So I'm giving these little shapes some enhancing too. I find it interesting how the green and blue paints worked with each other, and also creating spots of a rusty red that I can't explain. Funny, this looks like an aqueduct. I don't know if that's the right word in English. An aqueduct in Rome that I visited 2 years ago. Always thought that Rome is a magic place. So this one's finished in my eyes. I'm signing this as though it's an important piece of art, haha. But I like it, so it deserves my name. Next is another weed print, starting out with the spraying of the weed itself to print directly. This is something that does not work as well as the breathtaking acrylic weeds prints you sometimes get. But I'll work with this one a little more. Printing the weeds with the leftover paint once again on a test sheet with a heart-shaped box that I printed, which was a fail to me, but I will combine it with a plant here. Going to add a printed cardboard box to this. Sorry, the camera was off when I made this impression on the gel plate using acrylic paint. As the phthalo blue seems to be quite transparent, I'm hoping for the best here. And it worked, I think. Adding dark blue shadows to the cardboard lines. Don't you just love the printing of boxes? I'm obsessed with them at the moment. Even when I see ads on TV and they show some product box, I immediately think about buying them for printing. So ads work. Adding a little bit to the shapes of the leaves. But I soon decide not to do any more here, as it would look too artificial, or rather like a sketch and not a print. So I just enhance some of the sienna color here, and that's it. Now this print, which was really only the pickup print of excess color and has no weed details. What inspired me in this one is the background that shows some shapes that were created by the brayer rolling out a little too much paint. First, I am making some frottage pieces as collage pieces, which always makes me feel like I'm back in school in art class. It is such a simple way to create art that it amazes me over and over again. I have a knife that has some French writing on it and a lid of an old cigar box which reads Count Devil, which is so funny. A sign that says fill in oil here, and this is an old printing block. I'm not sure what this is really called, but it has a Mercedes car in it. Isn't that cute? And this is a dishwasher detergent box that is called Finish. I assume you don't have a brand like this in English-speaking territories, do you? But I find this very attractive as a word for a frottage. Starting with a graphite block, just to test the objects. And then I also try colored pencils with it. You have to use the pencil sideways, and it works well. But still, I like the graphite outcomes the best. So I'm going to use both for the collage. The Mercedes seems to be a little too small scaled for this, and the Count Devil is too large for this print. Trying the knife, which is disappointing as you cannot really read the delicate French words. This is another pickup print, which I thought would be a nice background. I cannot use it as the orange would be too much. I'm more the monochrome type, as you know, and the second color would usually be a complementary color, like the blue here to the brown. But I wanted to show you this anyway, as it's so much fun to make. Another pickup deli paper I made in this session, and I'm trying to frottage with a white pencil here. I'm ripping it apart with a ruler to get a natural looking rim, and I want to add this in two separate pieces, but that comes later. At this point, I want to mention one of my biggest influences and make this an homage to her, Judy Bergeson, of whom I've actually purchased a few paintings and drawings. She makes the best collages and drawings that I have seen, and these shapes and collage pieces are mostly an attempt to try to feel the process of collage and producing an image that has a lot to do with natural shapes, in which Judy is just the best. I have no idea how her process is with finding her landscape designs, but maybe it is a little similar to my process today. These little raindrops I'm creating here are maybe more Gerda Lipsky inspired, and I get a bit carried away here and create too many, I think. Although I work with colored pencils because I can always erase them, most times I don't want to and keep on working with the mess I made. If you don't erase, you learn more, I think. Don't ask me what I mean with niche. I just hope it's not a nasty word in anyone's language. I'm employing the white fabric marker here, which is difficult because it smears the graphite underneath. But after a while it works okay. You can also use wax crayons or pastels, of course, but somehow they're not my favorite media. I have some dried magnolia leaves in my collection of pressed plants. Well, actually, they're not leaves but petals, and in the little one you can still see a rest of its original pink color. I try over and over to use them here, but finally I don't think they really fit in. This is also a leftover piece I made in another printing session, but it doesn't fit either. And I have two little cute rhinos made with a lino cut and the gel plate. Aren't they cute? But why the hell did I think these would fit in here? And these feather prints I made in one Easter video, but I think this could do with a collage of its own. Would you like that? Please vote in the comments. I want to show you this. If a piece is too small and uneven for whipping with a ruler, you can tear tiny pieces off with scissors if you make a movement to the side. You'll get a feel for it if you practice that a little. There is a tip of a seed head that I want to run over the collage piece. And I have to fiddle cutting the shape out. Makes me a bit nervous, but it worked. And the last thing I do is another reminiscence to Judy Bergerson. Some tiny trees in one corner here, highlighted so that we can see them better. Before I leave you, I have to beg your pardon for taking off the coming week. I'm currently working on my Shopify shop, which takes an awful lot of time, where I will be selling a lot of the pieces you've seen me creating here. The most time takes the decision on which I want to sell and which I have to keep because I love them too much. That's a tough one. So I hope you liked today's video and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.